Hi, and welcome to Charcuterie with Uncle Greg. Today we're going to be discussing probably my most favorite thing to make, and the simplest, by the way. This is the easiest thing for anyone at home to do. This is making bacon. And I'm going to take you through a step-by-step, very simple step, tell you how to do this entire process. Within 7 days or longer, if you're going to smoke it, you'll have homemade bacon at home. First process is sanitize. Now I already did this, but I'm doing it just for show. Sanitize your entire table. Make sure everything's very clean. Your utensils are clean as best as you can. No bacterias, anything foul in there. We're going to start out with a pork belly. And I happen to just have one here. There is a nice slab of pork belly. This one is skin removed. I have another piece I'll show you where the skin is still on. This is skin removed. The first thing you like to do or want to do, and I'd like to thank Mrs. Cynthia Crane, Sarasota, Florida, for sending me this outstanding knife. It's really sharp, probably too sharp for me, but slicing off any portions of fat you may not want. And silver skin. I don't know why they call it silver skin, never did figure that out, but it's a whitish material, it's a silver skin. You can take that off if you want to too. But these little bits of fat, you can remove that. It's not going to do anything for your bacon, that's for sure. Makes it a little cleaner looking. Going to remove all that. Everything else looks pretty good actually on this piece. Many people will want to square it off, meaning they cut it very evenly. I've even seen people take a bloody ruler and rule it out and measure it exactly. You don't have to do that. In the old days, my great-grandpa made these. It was just cut or hung as this is not quite a full side, but it's pretty close to a side of bacon. So this slab I'm going to cut it in half, and probably guessing this is a 10-pound slab. This is going to be like a 5-pound each slab. There you go, 5 pounds each slab right there. Some of this could be trimmed off if you want. I hate to trim any of it off till after I'm done, but we'll slice it right there and just cut that off a little evenly there. Not a big deal, I'm gonna leave it. You could even off this a little. It's a lot of fat actually. Slice that off. 1, 2, 3, that's easy. The rest I'm going to leave. This piece is a little irregular. You can see how thin it is here. Wouldn't make for grand bacon, but I'll show you what to do with it later after we're done with this whole process, because you can still use it and it's really grand and it's good. So the first part of curing your bacon, because it needs to be cured, and you're going to cure it for approximately 7 days. Very simple. We're going to use 3 items: kosher salt, brown sugar, sodium nitrite, which is also called Instacure #1. And what that is really, and it's really in most of your foods now that when you go shopping you're going to notice, maybe you'll pay more attention, it contains it. Well, it is to me I call it an insurance policy. It's an insurance policy against bacteria that may invade your meat, being that the fact your bacon is curing, it's in a moist atmosphere, maybe a warmer atmosphere, although this will be refrigerated. There's a possibility for bacteria. We don't want that in our bacon. Consequently, we're going to mix these 3, and it's equal amounts. And the recipe, I already have it done, but the recipe is 1/2 cup kosher salt, 1/2 cup brown sugar, and 1 teaspoon of sodium nitrate, okay? Very simple. You could do this on a piece of paper or on this counter actually. Spread this entire cure on and rub it real well into the meat. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. It's going to be done in a bag, and the reason why, because all that mess won't be all over the studio. And then I have to clean it anyway, and I'm not cleaning the studio because I don't get paid extra for that. So what we're going to do is basically add a little of that cure right here. About half. Good, spread it out. Place this. This is your pork belly down into the bag like that. That's one side. Beautiful. Take the other. This is the rest of the portion. We're going to save just a little bit because this mixture, half cup, 1 teaspoon, is for 1 5-pound slab. To do the other piece, we're going to need the equal amount. You'll take that cure mixture now, if you can see. I hope you can see through the plastic. I'm sure you can. Rub it real well into the meat as best you can. All sides. Flip it over. Do the same here. We're going to massage it in there as well as you can, everywhere on this. A little more. And the whole idea here is to try and coat every part of the meat on all sides, and even your end too, so make sure you get your end especially. I can use the rest now in here, don't need that anymore. Rub that in there. Rub, 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 massage, massage, massage. Sometimes pat it, it might have been bad, you gotta spank that puppy. So we're going to pat it down a little bit here and get that cure in there, all along the edges too. If you can notice right here, you'll notice that it needs to have it into this section. I'm gonna push it in. Okay, we got that down. What you want to do now is take out as much air as you possibly can from the plastic bag. We're going to seal it. Some people use automatic sealing machines, make it real tight, that's great. Other people use another method where they'll put it into a non-reactive pan, something like glass or plastic, not metal. And you could put this slab of raw pork belly in that pan, do the exact same idea what I just done, massaging it with the cure, and let it set covered in your refrigerator. Now every day you have to flip this. You could double bag this in case you think it might leak in your refrigerator. That's probably a great idea because it'll be a heck of a mess in the refrigerator, and it's sticky to it, that sugar. Every day you're going to flip it. Day 2, this side. You can massage it a little bit too, just for fun, I guess. If you feel like massaging bacon, that's your thing. But anyway, next day is going to be day 3. You're going to flip it again. You're going to massage it, massage it, massage it. After that, 7 days. You're going to put this in the refrigerator for 7 days and do that flipping. And what I'll show you is one that we have right here, and that was cured 7 days. Notice the difference. You can see this really clearly on this one. This is beautiful Tisher grocery store bacon. Beautiful. You can see the beautiful distribution. Meat, fat, a nice consistency. I mean, that to me, that's just beautiful. Oh God, that's in heaven, right there. We're done with this. What you're gonna wanna do, take it out of the cure mixture. We're going to rinse it in clean, cold water and get most of that cure off of there. What you'll do then, you'll take a clean cloth, towel, or rag, and you're going to dry it off. Throw that in the garbage. Going to pat this dry. Pat, 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 pat it dry as you can get it. It's best to put this into a rack in your refrigerator. Some people do, I don't do it. I'll tell you my method of what I do, but some people do this. They'll pat this dry, they'll put this on a rack, they'll let it sit on their counter, oh, I would say at least 2, 3, 4 hours. Some people put it in the refrigerator like this overnight, 24 hours, to make sure it gets sufficiently dried enough and it develops a surface to it which is a little bit tacky. And that tackiness, if you're going to smoke it, is what you want. The smoke will adhere to that much more readily than water or totally being dehydrated. I myself have done it both ways. It's worked out both ways for me. This piece, like I said, did weigh 5 pounds. You could actually right now cut this bacon just the way it is, and you could fry this bacon and eat it. I personally, some people do, I do not like it that way. What I like to do is smoke it. Smoking, that's a whole nother process now. What you'll need to do is, if you're going to smoke it, take yourself a hook. Now, I'll tell you honestly, they sell these online. I think they charge bloody $10 for these things. Can you believe it, $10? This is from a shoe rack. You need to put your shoes on the rack, la, la, la. This is an old shoe rack. I bent it off, I bent the hook, sharpened them up, and now you have a beautiful, beautiful bacon hook. All you need to do is take your bacon, find a sturdy section, and everything, actually, this is a good spot. Pierce it, really simple. Like this, pull it up. Now your bacon's hanging. And now you can hang this in your smoker, or you could put it in a grill. Some people smoke it in their barbecue grill. I prefer a cold smoke. There's two variations. A hot smoke, which is in a smoker, probably an optimum temperature around 200 degrees for a hot smoke, or a cold smoke. And what I'm going to do now is show you both variations of that. This one is one I had done to show you, and this is, to me, a beauty. This is a hot smoke. The hot smoke was done with, I like to label them too so I know what I did, and I did this one with blackstrap molasses. Besides for this cure, blackstrap molasses on that one. So it's a little darker color. You're going to see that darkness in it because of the blackstrap molasses. Next one I have is a hot smoke regular bacon, which I did actually this morning. Put it in here for the show so you can see it. Beautiful color. Smells awesome, awesome, awesome bacon. This was a hot smoke. You could see it's a little smaller, and I'll compare it with this one, which is a cold smoke. This smoke was done strictly in a manner of cold. The temperature never rose more than, I think, 90 degrees. It was just smoke coming in, smoke, 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 no tremendous amount of heat. This one, as you can see, is a little smaller because that heat tends to shrink your bacon, and it's basically cooking your bacon also to a point where you can slice it and make bacon, but it's not, to me, the same. I happen to like this method of cold smoke, but people do it in various methods. When they're curing, they do various things. I did that one with the cure with some blackstrap molasses. Some people do brown sugar, very heavy on the brown sugar, which I'm not fond of. And some people add a little bit more salt than I do. I don't like my bacon that salty. Some people will put different kind of syrups in there, natural syrups, okay? Like maple syrup, but a natural maple syrup. Don't ever use that stuff out of a Mrs. So-and-so's out of a bottle, because that's just corn syrup anyway, honey. That's not maple syrup. Use pure maple syrup if you're going to use it in a cure for making a maple. Some people do Jack Daniels. I've heard bourbons and things put into it, if you like that. Other people add all kinds of, to me, beyond bacon, but they'll add different things like, oh, thyme and oregano and juniper berries and yeah, all this other stuff. And that's grand if that's what your flavor tastes are. They are not mine. Mine are simple, old-fashioned farm bacon like Grandpa used to make. And all it is the basic cure of salt, sodium nitrate, sugar. In the old days, they didn't even use the sodium nitrate. It was strictly the sugar and the salt. The difference is that nitrate brings out that beautiful red color, which we're all used to. When you buy bacon at the store, it's red. Bloody yay, it's not brown. If you don't use it, chances are your bacon, when you're cooking it, will come out brown, like a pork roast. Not so much like that bacon look is what you want. So it's really simple to do, very, very simple. The other steps that we're going to do and show you is one, and I still think I have some time on it. After we've done all that and you've smoked it and now it's cured and you can cut it, and like I said, I did not trim this bacon off even though it is fully cured. This piece right here, I'll tell you honestly, is not to be wasted. This, if you want to square it off and put this in a slicing machine, you want to slice in a slicing machine, this piece here and probably a little further makes the best bean soup you're ever going to have in your life. I swear to God. You mix this, chop this up in a bean soup, it's the best flavor you're ever going to have, and you're never going to go back to the way you used to make it, I'll tell you that much. The other one I wanted to show you real quick before we went too far and we run out of time, because I usually run out of time anyway, I forget, is a pork belly. This one is the same. I think it weighs probably maybe 9 pounds, around 10. A little off-centered. It's not quite a nice uniform shape for a belly. It does have its little pig nipples on it because this is skin on. What we're going to do is cut it in half like we did before. That's that's maybe 4.5 pound piece. 4.5 pound piece. The only difference is it has the skin. Many people do not like to cure it and then smoke it with the skin on because it's a hard rind, not gonna be able to eat it. A lot of people will remove that skin. Removing the skin is two ways to do it. You could do it now, or you could buy it, and it's a simple procedure going very slowly with the skin, like this. You know what, and I'll tell you honestly, it's so bloody time consuming. When you order, and if you order like from Tischer's Groceries, just tell the butcher, can I get a piece of pork belly skin removed? I think they charge maybe a few pennies more, but it's a lot easier for you as a home consumer to do it that way rather than doing it yourself. I happen to sometimes like it this way for one main reason when I'm doing bacon, when I'm curing bacon, is if I get that extra skin that comes along with it, what I'll do, and I have it here somewhere, oh, here it is, I'll make cracklings. You'll take this skin, you'll boil the skin, then I cut it into little slices, and then I dehydrate it. And you have to dehydrate it for, I would say a good 24 hours maybe. So it's hard as a piece of plastic. It feels like bloody plastic, I swear. If you can hear it right there, see? It feels like plastic. And what you'll do is traditional way of making cracklings, or they also call it chicharrone, is to deep fry it in pork fat. But what I tried this morning, really interesting, I just did this as a lark. I took a couple of those pieces and I threw them in my microwave. And I put them in the microwave for 3 minutes and they came out almost perfect. They smell grand, they look great, they look soft. You could add salt to it, you can add pepper to it. Some people do cayenne pepper. It turned out remarkably well. So I do like the fat. I mean the skin. People sometimes think it's a pain, but there's so many uses for it, you can use it. Also, another possibility is when you remove this skin and you have a nice big sheet of skin, you can use it to cure sausages. If you're making a homemade sausage, or you're doing like a pancetta, you can roll the outer layer. Rather than use a casing, you can use the natural thin pork skin. And that will get you a beautiful sausage, because that'll dry out and protect the meat in the center. And I think with that, we've pretty well done it. Now all we have to do is go home, slice our bacon, have some great, I would probably have a beer if I had a bacon. I mean, there's a beer they have now in this area, it's called, I think it's a Tischer's Pilsner beer. I've had it, and it's really darn good with a nice BLT sandwich, bacon, lettuce, tomato. Oh yeah, in the afternoon, that's a great treat for me. But this is a beautiful piece of bacon done in the hot cure method. The other one is done in the cold method. This is done raw. We haven't done anything with it later. We will do this later, actually. I'll do some more cure and hang that one up too. But until next week, thank you so much. So long, folks.